everybody, I hope you're having a nice day. I'm here this week to show you something different. I'm going to show you and talk through my pattern collection. When I did my living room tour, I had a few comments about when I showed you my drawers, my pattern drawers. I don't think I pulled them out, but I was like, that's where my patterns are. And a few of you were like, oh, it'd be lovely to see your pattern collection. So I thought I'd show you them. So there is a whole drawer that is just original Sew Over It patterns, some of which never made it into the mix. They're just things that we tried out, and I never even made up the sample after the toile. I wasn't that interested in it. I didn't think it was that good. So there's nothing particularly interesting to show you in there. A lot of them you just know the patterns already. Hi Pops. Have you come to say hello? Oh, come on. Are you going to chill out on the sofa whilst I do this? No, don't lick me. But the others are more interesting. They're my bought patterns, so some of them are kind of more modern, or rather the ones you can get today, and then I've got lots of vintage patterns to show you as well. So I think I'll start with the vintage patterns. I've got a big pile of them here. By the way, I should tell you what I'm wearing. This is the Agnes top hack that I've done a lot of for my maternity kind of clothes. This is Tilly and the Buttons pattern. I'll put the link to it in the comments below. And this fabric, we still have some of it left in case any of you are wondering. I know I put a photo up of me in it on Monday on Instagram, and a few of you were like, is that fabric's gorgeous? Anyway, I checked yesterday and we do have some left, so it is up on the site. Right, okay, so I'm just going to start. I'm not going to do them in any particular order. So this one, if I put them over my face, hopefully the autofocus will just get it. So this one is a butterick pattern, and what I particularly love about it is the detailing around the neckline. So it's kind of like this interesting yoke, and then it gathers in, and it's kind of got like raglan sleeves. So I thought that was a particularly interesting detail, so that's why I've got that pattern. And you can make it with a flared skirt, or you can make it with a pencil skirt, but yeah, haven't made it, like it though. Then what have we got here? Yeah, just a simple 60s kind of Jackie O roll neck type top. Thought that was quite nice. Not made it yet in the list. Very few of these I've made. This one I have, you'll recognise I made this last year or the year before, I can't remember, but I absolutely love it. It's with the pleated details at the neckline and also at the skirt. And then I've got a couple that are quite similar. These are sort of, I don't think they're Miss ones, but they're very 60s, and you can tell by their hair. And it's the dresses that I was interested in, because if you can see, put that closer, if you can see the detailing there of the panels, how they do that, I think that's really interesting. I like that. I've never tried it, but it's a way of pattern cutting to kind of get around the bust darts. Now there are bust darts into that V that come up, but yeah, I've always been curious about this one. I haven't made it because I never thought that I had the right fabric. I think the fabric needs to be quite structured. I think it might be quite nice in the winter with the wool. So yeah, and the coat's quite nice as well. But what size is it? I love how the vintage size, it's like size 12, bust 34. So interesting to see what that size is. And then this one's the same, but the lines are going in a different way. So I also thought that was quite interesting. So is it coming into focus? Don't focus on my face. So yeah, they're going in the opposite direction. So again, similar shape though. Another very 60s one. I'm not sure how much I like this actually, but again, it's like an empire line, but it looks quite fitted below the empire line. And I don't know if that's the drawing, because it doesn't look like there's any darts or anything in there. So, but I do like the sort of the simpler version of it. So maybe one day. This I absolutely love. Can you see it in the wrapper? I just think this is so lovely. I guess this is more of a 50s or very early 60s. Little sweet little bolero, and love that neckline. Very Betty Draper, I think this is. It's a French Marion Martin. I feel like it's a French design. Don't actually know if what the language is. No, it is English. But how many? Oh my gosh, I can tell you when this is because this was sent out. Oh my goodness, look at that. This is 1956, it says on here. New York, 1956, January 12th. So that's how old this pattern is. Love that. I buy them on Etsy, or I also, Matt's auntie used to have a costume shop, and she gave me a load of patterns, some of which like they're basically from like they've used all over the throughout her career, and they were closing the costume shop, so she just sent me these 2 amazing boxes, and these are some of my favorite things from those as well. Yeah, another interesting kind of very 60s kind of vintage pattern. This has got quite interesting princess line seams, so that's what I'm often drawn to, is interesting ways of making a bust top more interesting. Interesting ways of making a bust top more interesting. This I absolutely love, and I still haven't made, but it's very beautiful, like lovely Revere colour, lovely vintage silhouette. This is very me, this silhouette, as I'm sure you know. It's got little darts in the back as well, which is what we have on our Jane dress actually. But yeah, love this, just haven't got around to making it. So many things in here that I haven't got around to making. This is just a shirt dress, bit some more 1970s. I think I was attracted to this because of the yoke. Hate the collar, really don't like the collar, that's too kind of 70s for me. But yeah, I think it's quite a nice simple vintage dress. Shirt dress rather, not vintage dress. What's this one? Again, very 60s. Can you see? Can I hide my face? There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to get the autofocus is just not liking this. So yeah, this has got a really pretty collar. I really like the collar on this, which is why I think I was drawn to this pattern. And it's also got really lovely long French darts. Can you see those? They're kind of coming up from the sides like our Zoe dress, so I really like that. And then I've got 3 coats patterns, and they're all very similar. I'm obviously very much drawn to this at the moment, I'm thinking very much about coats at the moment, about doing another coat pattern perhaps for autumn, because I love coats. It's definitely one of my favourite things to wear, which sounds crazy, but I always used to never bother with coats, and I always find that I've made such an effort underneath my coat, and then my coat's a bit so now I've recently really been getting into coats. So all of these are kind of cocoon shape, which is what interests me at the moment, with sort of raglan sleeves. So I haven't made any of them, but I do really like them. This one's a bit random. Is that a dressing gown? Don't know, but the shorter versions I guess are quite cool. So yeah, watch this space. Thinking a lot about cocoon coats at the moment. Things that are really just like a kind of throw on that you could make in a beautiful wool that would just hang beautifully. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. This I love. This I think again is probably 1960s. Can you see it? Or this is a little bit the collar I think is a bit high, the neckline rather. I think that would be quite unflattering, but I love the raglan sleeve, and it's also got a very Jackie O collar here on this bit, so like that. This I absolutely love. This actually came from my friend who was clearing out her husband's grandma's attic, and they came across her collection of patterns, and my friend doesn't sew, and so she gave me them, and this one is my favourite. I just love the illustration. I just think this woman looks so cool. And I love the pattern as well. It is way too big for me. I think his grandma was a bit bigger, and so all the patterns weren't the right size for me, but I did keep this one, maybe another one, because I just love that. So yeah, I still want to just do something like that. I think a pattern like that or a version of that would be great, so keep your eyes out for me doing something like that. This one those of you that, I don't think I've ever worn it on a vlog, but those of you that have followed me on Instagram for a long time, oops, sorry, it's all falling out, may recognise this. This is a brunch coat. It's called a brunch dress. So the idea is that you just throw it on in the morning so you can make your husband and your family their breakfast. So it's really simple, and it's basically just a wrap dress that you just wrap on. It's got these funny, like, spiky pokey kind of details on the like, what are they called, turn-ups on the sleeves that are weird. And when the versions that I made, I didn't make with pockets, but yeah, I really like it actually. Might be one that I might revisit because it's kind of like might be a nice summer dress. I think I made it in 2 rayons before, but I think it'd be better in cotton. So yeah, this is really good doing this because I'm like coming across all these patterns that I'd forgotten about. So yeah, that is going back in there. Definitely going to revisit that. This, I don't know, I think it belongs to this, also amazingly old. Wow, this is 1949, Toronto. Is it 49? Wow, that's amazing. And this is the pattern, and I think these are the instructions. This is the design. I don't think it came with a front cover, but it's this sweet little kind of cropped, sorry, I need to get that in focus, cropped shirt. Blouse rather. I just love that, and that with a big 50s skirt, I just think that's just gorgeous, and I've never made it, so I have to do that. I have to do that definitely. I wonder how it fastens up. Yeah, but it's one of those patterns where there's no markings on it. It's like the really old ones, there's just holes. Never got round to it, but yeah, wow. Treasuring this one definitely. She's special. This one I love, and this reminds me of a top that I saw. Have you seen The Help, the film The Help? And I can't remember what her name is. I think it's Celia. Celia, the character that lives in that massive big house and everyone's horrible to her. And she's actually just a lovely, lovely woman, but she's a bit of a kind of blonde bimbo. And she wears this really beautiful little top on one of the scenes. It looks like a handkerchief top, and this it reminded me of that, which is why I got this. And again, I've not made it, but I just think that's gorgeous for the summer. So maybe I'll make it this summer. Love that. This one, again, very 70s. I got this because I thought it was, I want to make a peasant blouse, or I did want to make a peasant blouse, and I don't particularly want to make a peasant blouse dress, but I thought I could just cut it off. So got that. And then this one, when is this? Maybe the 90s? It's not really vintage, but I love this. Just such a lovely kind of shirt dress. I think that's great, and I definitely want to make that this summer. So I'm sure shirt dresses are still very much in, and I'm still very much in love with them, so I think I'll make that. And finally, it's just so sweet. I think this was one of the patterns from Matt's aunt's collection. It's this little sweet little coat. Now, if I have a girl, I don't know if I'm having a girl or a boy, but if I have a girl, I'm going to make this coat. I don't think it's very much a boy's coat. It's a little girl's coat, but yeah, it's very, very sweet. So yeah, those are my vintage patterns. So lots there, and so nice to go through them. I think that's a really nice thing to do. It's a bit like what you do with your fabric stash, like getting them out every so often, having a look at them again and being like, oh, I forgot I bought that, and putting it to the top of your pile again. Because I have my big basket of fabric that's out that I'm kind of thinking about making things, but then I have another whole chest of it. And yeah, I try to go through it every few months to remind myself what I've got in there. So I've also got, this is just my my other pattern collection, and there's things in here I've never made. So By Hand London, Eliza Lex dress, one of their first, I think probably one of their most popular dresses. Yeah, got that, loved that. I just love their packaging. And the Flora dress as well, which I have made. It was before I was doing pattern reviews, I think, but yeah, I definitely made that and loved that. So those two. I've got some Tilly patterns, the Coco, Bettine and Agnes. So that's those. This one, never made it before, but this is, I think I got this when I ran a sort of sewing bee event at John Lewis once for sewing bloggers, and they had lots of patterns that they kind of had people choose from, and this was one of them, and I always thought this was quite a nice kind of dress, but never got round to wearing it. Can you see it? Wearing it, making it. Anyway, I've kept it in my collection. I don't know if you can see that. I've kept it in my collection because I always thought it was cool. So one day, it's a jersey dress. So, and this I think came free with a magazine recently. I don't know if any of you also got it, but I put it to one side because I thought it might be a good breastfeeding top. So yeah, kind of looks like it could be, so that's why I've got that. Then I've got my Decades of Style pattern. This is the Empire, the 1940s Empire waist, which, will I ever fit into those again? I don't know. I hope. I absolutely love them. So that's that. And I've got another one of theirs, which was this dress, which I did one of my first reviews on this on this channel. But yeah, I actually ended up not liking it that much. I don't know who I gave it to. I haven't kept this dress that I made, but I kept the pattern because I thought maybe it was just the fabric I didn't like. It's certainly sewed up really nicely. Then I've got a Colette pattern. I used to have quite a few more, but I wasn't making them, so I think I gave them away. But this is a Hawthorn, and I definitely did a review on this as a blouse. Not as a dress, but it's nice. I've got the vintage Vogue as well. I did for last year when they had that thing where they were asking people to do kind of reviews and makes. So I think it was organised by the Fold line. But yeah, really liked that dress. Wore that a lot. And my Morris blazer. There are other patterns. I've got other patterns, but those are kind of the ones that I'm liking still. You know, still very much in my collection because I'm hoping I'll revisit them, or if I've not made them before, I hope I'll go back to them. But there's certainly 2 or 3 of those vintage patterns in there that I think I am really going to have a go at this summer. And I don't know if I'm going to do a review so much because, well, we'll see. I don't know if I'll have time to do that. I really have no idea how much sewing time I'm going to get. So, you know, speaking to mums who sew, who with newborns, you know, I've kind of heard that, you know, obviously after the first couple of months, you might then start to kind of feel like you want to do a bit. Certainly the baby is still sleeping a bit more and they're not mobile, so you could, you know, do that. But I guess it depends if you have a sleeping baby in terms of the nights, whether you've got the energy to do any sewing. But certainly at the moment I am finding it harder and harder to sew because it's hurting my back a lot. So it's a bit frustrating, and I think because I'm quite a quick sewer in that I love quick results, I get frustrated that I have to keep stopping and starting so that I can lie down or change my posture, because yeah, where I sew is on a bench and that's not good for my back. So yeah, not sewing anywhere near as much as I normally do, but also because of how I am at the moment, I'm not sewing stuff because, one, I'm pregnant and there's no, you know, I'm pregnant now and there's no point in making it that much more for now. I'm trying to make transitional stuff, as you know from my video last week, but there's only so much of that you can do, and then so there's this kind of big unknown as to what size I will be over the summer. And also I'm obviously gonna, you know, have some pregnancy weight that I'll be carrying, and I don't know when I'll lose that. I don't know what size my boobs will be, so it's quite hard for me to like want to make things and plan for that. So yeah, I'll just have to see. Can't plan. But yeah, I hope that I will make something over the summer. Anyway guys, I hope you found that interesting, and maybe it will encourage you to get out your pattern stash and remind yourself what you've got, and yeah, get you inspired again by some of those patterns that you've maybe had at the back of your cupboard. But that is it for this week. What else have I got to report? I've got about another week of normal work left, in that I'm going into the shops regularly and doing quite a kind of busy-ish, kind of moving around type working week next week. But after that, I'm working from home until Easter. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I think I'll still pop into Islington, but just because that's near, so I might go in there once a week. But yeah, no more treks to Clapham. And over on lisacomfort.com, this week I put up a video of what it's like a week in the life type video. So if you want to see that, I'll put a link to it in the comments. But basically, rather than doing like a day in the life, I've just recorded a bit every day in that week, so Monday to Friday, so you could see what my working week is like. And no working week is the same as the last one, but it's kind of gives you a flavour. So, excuse me, that was on the channel this week. Next week I am going to do a video introducing you all to the Sew Over It team on this channel, so look out for that. I thought it'd be nice to show you all who's going to be running the show, or who is running the show already whilst I'm away, and just so you know, a lot of you I know will talk, those of you who buy online will probably talk to Molly quite a lot, or you might speak to Holly on the info at, or to Matilda, who's just new. She's also answering in for our emails. And then we've got Rosie, our manager, and Alex. You'll see she's behind all the social media, so if you're talking on Instagram, it's Alex you're often talking to pretty much all the time. The only time you might be talking to me is if Alex is on holiday. Yes, they're an amazing team, as I've said before, and I think it'd be really nice to introduce you all to them. They are not so much looking forward to it because it means they're going to have to be on camera, yeah, I think it'd be nice for you guys to see them. So yeah, tune in next week for that. Okay guys, have a lovely weekend. See you then. Bye.